Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin with breaking news. The House of Representatives voted to pass what President Trump calls his big, beautiful bill. 214 people voted against it, and it did pass by 4 votes. 2 Republicans joined all Democrats opposing the bill. GOP leaders worked overnight last night to drop some opposition and send the president the bill to sign into law. The bill boosts border security, increases defense spending, and extends tax cuts that he initially put in place back in 2017. Medicaid program cuts are also included. The cuts are estimated to be around $930 billion, with at least 11.8 million people at risk of losing their health insurance. And the Supreme Court announcing it will review Idaho and West Virginia's ban on transgender athletes. The justices are likely to hand down a decision coming up next year. Idaho was the first state to pass such a ban. Since then, 27 states have passed similar laws preventing transgender athletes from competing on female sports teams. In Washington state, current law allows transgender students to participate on teams that align with their gender identity. The Supreme Court will review lower court decisions that voted that these laws are discriminatory against transgender athletes. Right now, talking about level 3 evacuations, which are in place from north of Bonnie Lake to West Cheney Plaza Road and east to South Wells Road. This is due to the Texas Seagull fire near Bonnie Lake. It has burned about 400 acres since it began yesterday afternoon. Level 3 evacuations mean go now. There is extreme danger in that area. If this is issued, it is considered unsafe to stay in that area. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones was at the fire all throughout the morning.
Yeah, we're here at the command center in Rosalia, and there has been a lot of crews coming and going, doing their efforts to make sure they get all of this under control. We're with Terry Bunce right now with Spokane County Fire District 3. Terry, thank you so much for just taking some time out of your day to speak with us. Can you talk about some of the challenges that took place here yesterday when there was just huge plumes of smoke? Those flames were very active. And then, of course, here we are today. Can you talk about that yesterday and then kind of what the approach is for today?
Sure. So when this fire broke out in Bonnie Lake, it's incredibly challenging terrain. When the call came out, we knew this lake is so narrow in a box canyon, you can only really take a kayak up it. Boats don't even fit. So we knew that fire would be inaccessible to our crews with trucks, and we knew we'd need aerial assets in quickly.
Yeah, well, you talked about those aerial assets. You also have been confirmed to have some more of those air resources here for today. Can you talk about how necessary that is for conditions like this one and when you have that much land burning?
Sure. So overnight, the fire did really settle down in the canyon and was burning. So this morning, getting those aerial assets back up in the air to work on fighting the fire from above is crucial. Our ground assets are working on digging line, wet lining, and containing the fire, but we do need those scoopers to dump water through that canyon.
What about that state mobilization? What impacts does that have when you have a fire of this capacity?
Sure, state mobilization is critical to backfill resources. We had, 150 firefighters from the local districts up here. If any other incident, car wrecks, fires, emergencies, medical happened, we need backup to be able to still service the people of our community. So there's additional funding and resources that happen so that the overtime is helped to be paid for and not such a strain on our local budgets.
Are there any updates on the status of those evacuations or just how close these homes are to any potential flames?
Sure. The level 3 evacuations are impacting approximately 5 to 8 homes as of last night from the sheriff's department. None of the homes, though, are in immediate danger. They are just in a pretty conservative level 3 evacuation zone. Most residents did decide to leave. A few decided to stay. And there is potentially one outhouse or Connex box that is closer to the fire line that we're monitoring closely that is threatened. We've got a lot going on here. It's slow moving throughout this area. There's wildlife and rocks. So we expect to be here for a couple days.
All right, well, we appreciate what you do. Thank you for that information. Terry Bunce with Spokane County Fire District 3. And we'll go ahead and toss it back to you all in the studio.
All right, Brandon, thank you. It's time to focus now some of our attention on weather. Certainly a factor when that fire broke out last night was the wind. I don't know if things have settled down so far today, but still dealing with some heat, certainly. Nicole Hernandez is in for Thomas Patrick. Nicole.
Yeah, Laura, the winds is exactly what I'm about to speak about because we actually do still have breezy conditions today. They are going to calm down by this evening, but right now you can see gusts upwards of 19 to 20 miles per hour here until 1, 2, 3 o'clock. By about 7 o'clock tonight, we start to see those winds calm down. Even from yesterday, these winds are calmer. I know Brandon was talking about firefighters fighting gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. They're likely not going to be dealing with that today. Beautiful out as well, a little bit cooler. Here's a live look over Riverfront Park. You can see blue skies, sunny, and that sunshine not feeling quite as intense today because we're not quite as hot. We're only 72 degrees right now here in Spokane, and I don't know if you remember the past few days when we've been out here, it's been almost 80 degrees, if not actually 80 degrees. So we've definitely lost some of that heat that we were dealing with the past few days. For today, we continue with a little bit of cooler temperatures. We're going to be in the low 80s here in Spokane, so that high temperature of about 83 degrees. Overall, across the region, we're losing about 6 to 7 degrees of heat compared to yesterday, and the day before that was even hotter than that, so we're just kind of continuing this cooling trend. Coming up in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about your 4th of July forecast.
In court yesterday, Brian Coberger admitted guilt in front of 4 families whose lives, of course, changed forever. The Ada County judge accepted the plea deal proposed by prosecutors. Now, under this deal, Coberger will serve 4 consecutive life sentences, plus an additional 10 years in prison. He will not have the ability to appeal and is not eligible for parole.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Jury selection was set to start later this month for his quadruple murder trial. Now that's not happening. Instead, his sentencing will start later this month, coming up on July 23rd. And the victims' families have been pushing for justice for over 2 years, but they are divided on the plea deal. Outside the courthouse, the father of Kaylee Gonsalves spoke to the media, saying it's not enough.
This community will decide that he's guilty. We could take it out of frickin' Thompson's hands. One man shouldn't decide what 4 souls are worth. Let's go.
After the hearing, Madison Mogen's family attorney said they support the plea deal and that the family wants to move forward.
We support the plea agreement 100%. While we know there are some who do not support it, we ask that they respect our belief that this is the best outcome possible for the victims, their families, and the state of Idaho.
Ethan Chapin's family was also in court yesterday. Ahead of the hearing, Stacy, Ethan's mom, said they support the plea deal as well. We haven't heard from Xana's family at this point. We have more coverage of the plea deal right now on KREM 2 Plus, including the full video of yesterday's hearing. You can download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch it for free.